SMART goals. So it's the #1 framework used in the world, and it's just a really bad structure, guys. It's got so many gaps. There's things it's not telling you. Specific, should a goal be specific? Absolutely, we need a goal to be specific, okay? Definitely needs to be specific. You need to know, is it 100 meters, 1,000 meters, a mile, European level, world level? So we need to know, is a goal specific? Should a goal be measurable? Absolutely. So you need to be able to measure a goal. You need to know that if I want 10 properties in the next 10 years, can I measure it, 1 a year? Am I on track? That way you can see, track your progress, you can measure against your actions and see if you're on track or not. So it definitely needs to be measurable. Now this is the bit that I don't like. And I proved it in the room on the 3-day. I asked the question, raise your hands if you think you could break my world record. And it's like fucking tumbleweed. And then I asked the question again, imagine now I've got a gun to your loved one's head. And if you can't drag your ass around, I will pull the trigger and that person will die. Raise your hands now if you think you could fucking drag your ass around. And what happens in the room? The whole fucking room puts their hands up. And my question is, what changed? Your why. These two here, what are they based on? Belief, exactly. What's wrong with your belief? It's limited. I know that. So we don't want that there. Would it be achievable to fucking create a mini sun and in every house tell people that, see that sun in the sky there? I'm going to create one where you've all got one in your own house and you're going to press a little switch and you'll all have your own mini sun. That's not fucking achievable. That's not realistic, would you agree? Saying that you're going to build one of those birds up there out of fucking wood and it's going to fly is not achievable. It's not realistic in the minds of probably 99.99999% of people, would you agree? And that's, I'm talking about at that level. It's not even at that level that this kicks in. So in 2006, when I went home and I told Gemma and my dad that when I finished that course, and they were like, how was it? And I went, it was fucking amazing. It's just completely changed how I think. I've realised I've got all of these limitations. And bearing in mind, at the time, I was one of 2 people on 1,500 people on camp that was a PTI and had passed P company. So I was already in a very elite number of people that had achieved something on camp. Yet I came back realising how much limitation I actually had, how many limiting beliefs I had, and what I was actually really capable of doing. And I came home and I told my dad and Gemma that I was going to be a millionaire within 10 years. At that time, I didn't have anything really. I probably had, my net worth at that point would have been about 80, 90 grand. And I was telling them I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. And they both laughed. I remember that exact thing. And in my head, I thought, you will fucking see. Because I just knew in that moment then that this, what I had, I just had to channel it over here. And now I had this new belief in me, this is what I was going to do. When my mates, I told them, same again, they all fucking laughed because you don't get fucking millionaires in this area. Everyone's fucking skint, no one's doing anything. So me going, I'm going to be a millionaire, it's like, well, how the fuck are you going to be a millionaire? You fucking in the army, mate, and you got no school grades. Right now you're driving a £170 purple Vauxhall Corsa. That was not achievable. It was not realistic in the minds of anyone else, okay? I know that you lot are capable of far more than what you realise you actually are. And that's why these words should not be used when goal setting. Now, I've had people say to me before, well, what happens if it was like saying a goal was for being able to fly as a human? All you have to do is remain open to the possibility of 0.000000001%. That's enough. Has it been proven that during COVID, did it shine a light on these labs that were trying to fucking create certain viruses and do certain things? That's proven. And the big question is, why are you trying to create viruses from animals and test what would happen if we fucking combine that with a human? Why is there labs even allowed to do that is my fucking question. Why are you playing around with that? Why would you even want to know that? And we know that now, that's fact, that's there, that there's labs trying to find these things out. Right now, would you agree, or not right now, just in the world, when there's money or there's power, What are they trying to do with humans right now? And it's already started to happen. Merging with technology. Are people right now working on putting chips into humans and linking other things up? I seen something the other day on social media where ChatGPT is now being put into a set of glasses. And it was a guy in a hospital ward who's wearing these glasses, and through flickering their eyes, moving certain eye movement that can draw up information off a fucking set of glasses. Technology is just fucking doing that through the roof. So at some point, are there going to be humans that are fully chipped up with the capability of drawing down that information instantly? I think we're naive if we think that won't happen. Think of the advantage if we could fly, if they could adapt something on a human where they took some DNA from a bird or something and they were able to put it into a human and we're able to grow wings. Imagine the advantage of that, okay? Will there be people sat there trying to figure shit like that out? Absolutely there will. Because people like Elon Musk is sat there right now going, how do I create a civilization on the moon? They're already trying to do things like that. You might look and go, well, chances of that happening, I just can't imagine it happening. As long as you remain 0.0000001%, what does that do? You open your mind up exactly that. So you stop it from being closed off to, I can't imagine someone's fucking flying about, but is there a possibility that they will figure that out at some point? I think it's fucking a very high probability that what we think right now, look at just going back 50, 60 years ago. Like my grandma, it blows her head off some of the things, like if you talk about some of the things now, she's just like, oh, I don't like talking about it. It's like, I find it all weird and crazy. Like some of the things that we do. And she talks about how she used to wash her clothes, how nappies were towels, they weren't disposable things. Every single nappy had to be washed out by hand. And if you look at the things that we can do now with our lights coming on sensors, our alarms, Ring doorbells, all of these things that we can just do automatically, and there we're having to do that just that time ago. The last one, timed. Should a goal be timed? Why? Because you need to know by when, absolutely, okay?